Indiana's #1 Honda dealer welcomes you to our biggest clearance sale of the year, the Happy Honda Days sales event. Get year-end clearance pricing on over 900 new Hondas, plus a complimentary lifetime powertrain warranty with every new Honda. Save thousands on your new Honda right here at Team Honda.
Hi, business owners. Phase 3. Woohoo! But do your customers know you're back? Well, that's where the Clarence Bug Show and Pelican Broadcasting can help. Right now, we've got great rates on advertising packages to help you get the word out. Shoot me an email at bugsclarence@gmail.com. Or better yet, call me up. I'd love to talk with you. 225-485-6839. Let's get together and make Phase 3 the best it can possibly be.
From appetizers, pasta dishes, and entrees, La Contea takes pride in preparing all the Italian cuisine we know you love. Enjoy live music every Thursday through Saturday from 6 to 9, happy hour weekdays from 3 to 6, and brunch on Sundays from 11 to 2, as well as dinner portion-sized lunch specials for under $10. Visit our website to view our menu and book a party or meeting in our large banquet room. Once you try La Contea, your Italian dining will change forever.
They said I could find you here. Why are you fishing? Our company's got to ship out 2 full color brochures and 20 color copies. You're killing me.
It's done. Designed, printed, packaged, and shipped.
How?
You just got to know the right people. Baker Printing, the printing people.
How come you get to fish in this private lake?
Like I said, you just got to know the right people. You can know the right people too.
Hello guys, it's Debbie. It's time. I've got a brand new location. 10510 Airline Highway, Baton Rouge, next to After 5 Tuxedos. We have the perfect spot to get all your wedding and formal wear needs. Come see our one-of-a-kind name brand and get great prices. With 30 years experience, the best customer service anywhere. It's Debbie's Bridal, Airline Highway, Baton Rouge. See you soon.
Hello and welcome to another week of the Clarence Bug Show. Here's hoping that all is well with you and yours in the world this day. And as we are so fond of saying each and every Monday right about this time of the day, here's hoping that your weekend was an absolutely fabulous one. If not, well, good Lord willing, you will still be here when the next one rolls our way and you can try it all over again. If you are an LSU Tiger football fan, great weekend. If you're a Saints fan, not so much. You know, in 2020, I guess the mantra should be expect the unexpected. 24-point underdog, our Tigers. Freshman quarterback Max Johnson taking over the helm of the offense. And if we were to conduct a poll, a bug poll, show of hands, how many saw LSU beating Florida in 2020 in the swamp? Yeah, that's what I thought. Not a whole lot. Probably none outside of the program itself. And the manner in which it went down is just par for the course in 2020. We all remember the game last year where the young man, after scoring a touchdown, decides that he's going to imitate a dog and pee on the goalpost and cost his team the game. Well, this time around, Marco Wilson, Florida Gator, will forever be enshrined as the LSU game. Have you ever seen anything as absolutely insane as the 2020 season? And the good news is it's not over yet. God only knows what the remainder of the 2020 football season has in store for football fans. It is just a crazy year all the way around. And I am one of those that, as we get closer and closer to 2021, I'm real hesitant to say 2021 can't be any crazier than 2020. Knock on laminate covered particle board, because just as soon as you say it, you'll look up and there it is. Speaking of crazy things, this story broke shortly after leaving air with you last week. And already the mainstream media is running cover, some of them, the others completely ignoring the story. Last week, Hunter Biden announcing to the public that he and his attorney have been contacted about a tax investigation into his finances. The U.S. Attorney's Office out of Delaware, according to Hunter Biden, is investigating his taxes for suspected fraud. In addition to Delaware, however, the Securities Fraud Unit with the Southern District of New York is also scrutinizing Hunter Biden's finances. According to sources familiar with these investigations, contrary to Hunter Biden saying, well, it's just about some tax discrepancies, this investigation is about a whole lot more. And of course, when the news broke, I said, okay, I'm going to give it half a day, maybe a day, and see what the mainstream media does with the story. So as I normally do, anytime there's something of this magnitude, I'll immediately go down the list. ABC News, nary a peep. CBS News, nary a peep. NBC News, no story. CNN, nary a peep. USA Today, nary a peep. And the list goes on and on and on. What is ironic and very telling about all of this is that in addition to Hunter Biden being under federal investigation now, James Biden, Joe Biden's brother, is also being investigated by the FBI. It's about his dealings with the hospital company AmeriCorps Health. They operate rural hospitals across America. According to the Western District of Pennsylvania, people close with the investigation, in late January, FBI agents raided an AmeriCorps hospital in Elwood City, Pennsylvania. That raid was previously following crippling dysfunction at the hospital. So we had the president's brother under federal investigation. Boy, it must be an important story. You saw the lights flash just now. And Joe Biden's son under federal investigation. It's a sad day in America when the media purposely runs cover for an individual, a party, or an agenda. It's very telling that the Founding Fathers, in their infinite wisdom, enshrined in our Constitution the need for a free press, free of encumbrance, free from political pressure, free from a willing coercion of the American people. And what is so sad is the number of my fellow Americans that get their news strictly from the mainstream media, that have no idea these two stories are out there. It's very telling that we now find ourselves living in an age where your news is dependent upon whom the media likes the most. Not so very long ago in this country, we were given the opportunity to judge the facts. And based upon that, we then were allowed to make up our own minds about any particular story. Now, let me say for the record, let me hasten to add, in the case of both Hunter Biden and James Biden, the presumption of innocence is there for them just like it is any other American. You are presumed innocent until you are proven guilty. But if all of us, Republican, Independent, Democrat, black, white, Latino, Asian, male, female, and however many other genders they've come up with since the last time we talked with you, if we are honest with ourselves, there's no way you can come to any other conclusion that this is a concerted effort to keep the story from the American public. And based upon what we've seen from the mainstream media, based upon what we've seen from social media, there's only one reason why someone would not want you to know about a certain story. It's disgusting in this day and age to think that those whose duty it is, and make no mistake about this, yes, it is the media's job, but it goes deeper than just a job. You have a duty to inform the American public and let them make up their own minds. It's a sad day when those who have such a sacred duty choose to go in direct conflict with what is best for the American people. It's interesting. If you go now to social media, Twitter, YouTube, and the like, they've taken down all videos that contest the recent results of the presidential election. But you can still find all of the videos about Russian collusion. You can still find all of the videos that have negative ramifications or implications for Donald Trump. It's as plain as the nose on your face. And sadly, rest assured, if they will lie to you about this, just imagine what else they will, they are, and they have lied to you about. There is such a thing as a lie by omission. A lot of you think a lie is only when they tell you an untruth. Truth of the matter is, you can also lie by not telling the truth. Some of y'all ain't gonna get that till later, but that's okay, as long as you get it. First break of today's show. Let me bang this out. When we come back, I'm gonna stay close to home as we start another edition on Monday of Now That's Just Stupid. That's next on the Clarence Bugg Show, here and only here on the Pelican. Stay close.
the IRS $10,000.
The IRS garnished my wages.
They put a lien on my house.
I'm self-employed and didn't report all my income. They claim I owe a lot more than I do.
The IRS is the most powerful collection agency in the world. They do not give up until you pay.
I couldn't sleep. We were being audited. I called Tax Solutions Now, and a great big weight was lifted off my shoulders.
I called Tax Solutions Now, and they got the IRS off my back.
Tax Solutions Now had my wage garnishment lifted in 48 hours.
Tax Solutions Now can get you help. Our agents know the rules, can stop the pain, and get you the best deal.
Tax Solutions Now saved my business.
I qualified for the Fresh Start program. I paid less than I owed.
We connect you with a team of former IRS agents and tax professionals who get the IRS off your back. Time is running out. Call Tax Solutions now.
Call 800-778-4345. 800-778-4345.
Live and play on the fairway at Greystone Golf and Country Club, a serene, challenging golf destination located in Denham Springs. For tee times and membership opportunities, go to GreystoneCountryClub.com.
Hi, I'm Hurricane Betsy Barnes.
And I'm Dr. Kay Siller with the Rocket Right Show.
We are two busy blondes on the go showing off life in Louisiana.
Watch us on Pelican Sports Network.
And Talk 107.3 FM. Check local listings for times.
Get 0.9% financing for 60 months on every new 21 Mazda, plus 90 days deferred payments during the season of inspiration at Baton Rouge's Mazda dealer, Team Mazda on Airline.
Bolello's Furniture and Appliances, your dependable independent. Depend on us for service, for selection, for price. Get huge Whirlpool savings. Shop now and save on Whirlpool appliances throughout the store. Plus, experience our price match guarantee and ask about special financing. You can depend on the know-how of people who live appliances every day. Bolello's Furniture and Appliances, your dependable independent with nationwide buying power.
Hi, I'm Bobby Yarborough with Manda Fine Meats. Here at Manda, we know what the folks of South Louisiana love. They love great flavored smoked sausage, delicious deli meats, and specialty items like boudin and andouille sausage. Manda Fine Meats has been providing these products since 1947. We produce them right here in Baton Rouge, so you know you're always getting the freshest product at your local grocery store. Manda Fine Meats. Taste the fresh local flavor in everything we make. Make it Manda every time.
Welcome back to today's edition of the Clarence Buggs Show. It is Monday, and of course, as we have all gone through 2020, and actually, it started prior to 2020, but we've managed to just kick it up to an entirely different level in 2020. The number of our fellow Americans that aren't just satisfied with doing stuff that's stupid, S-T-U-P-I-D. We now, as Americans, are gunning for stupid, as in S-T-O-O-P-I-D. So Monday, and time for another edition of Now That's Just Stupid. We start, thank you, in the truck. We start with the mayor of New Orleans, LaToya Cantrell. The furor that Her Majesty is unleashing now over Lauren Daigle, well-known Christian singer, riding her bicycle in the French Quarter, happens upon a prayer rally / concert. So she sees the folks praying, decides as a Christian performer, yeah, I'll stop and pray with them. Somebody in the crowd recognizes her and says, you need to get up on stage and sing with us. So she does. For the record, this was a, quote, unpermitted event. And we all know how Mayor LaToya Cantrell feels about unpermitted events during the pandemic. So the mayor now has taken it upon herself to write the folks at Dick Clark Productions that put on New Year's Rockin' Eve and voice her anger, displeasure, and demand that Lauren Daigle not be allowed to take part in the representation from New Orleans on New Year's Rockin' Eve. Oh, that's right. Everything's fine in New Orleans. There's no crime to speak of in New Orleans. Tourism is at an all-time high in New Orleans. The economy, by God, it's booming. So we should all understand that she can take time, the mayor, her honor, out of her busy schedule dealing with the myriad of problems facing New Orleans to tear down a Louisiana-born and bred artist who's doing nothing more than exercising her faith. The mayor, of course, in imploring / demanding that Lauren Daigle not be allowed to take part in the program, accused her of endangering the citizens, making people sick, you know, the whole nine that goes along anytime we don't bow down and acquiesce to those that we have appointed to rule, I mean elected to serve. Anytime we go against something they don't agree with, well, they want to lower the hammer. As bad as New Orleans will desperately need people to hurry up and return to that city for any tourism-oriented event, concert, whatever, to take time to disparage a Louisianian like this is so petty, it's beyond belief. Wait, no, it's not petty, that's just stupid. I know most elected officials live in that little bubble. They are so far removed from reality, it's scary. You surround yourself with people that tell you what you want to hear, tell you what they think you want to hear. I'm going to tell you what you need to hear. It's things like this that has all sorts of ramifications, and it's also why your own constituents, Mayor, have dubbed you LaToya the Destroyer. It is also why many of your constituents have now nicknamed you LaToilet. It's stupid. It's petty. And I hope you will at some point realize how it makes you look to those outside of your bubble. This woman is exercising her faith. And at the end of the day, for many of us, thanks to elected officials like yourself, it's all we have left to hold on to in this COVID-19 world that you are so willingly shoving down everyone's throat. At the end of the day, it's still America, Mayor. It's still America, Mayor, and you would do well to take that into consideration. After the resounding defeat that you suffered recently with your taxes, after threatening, oh, we're going to have to lay off all these people in city government, well, maybe now if you take the time to look at it objectively, maybe you'll realize that this was not just about taxes. This was about the whole heavy-handed approach that your administration has taken. Now, will you take that into consideration? I doubt it. But the good news is, when you don't, at the end of the day, and the results are what the results are, you will have no one to blame but your little old lonesome. Petty? Yeah. Stupid, even more so. Speaking of which, we started today's show talking about the Hunter Biden federal investigation story and how the mainstream media has gone out of their way not to cover the story. Well, cable news network CNN now coming out blasting Fox News for covering the story, saying that by leading their newscasts with this story, Fox News has lost all credibility. Can you say pot calling kettle black? CNN, the most unworthy of all news networks, the most biased, the most untrustworthy, the most uncredible news outlet on the planet, levying charges that you are losing credibility? You know, in hindsight, it brings to mind the old adage, you can't teach what you don't know. You ever heard that? Someone tries to instruct you on something that they know absolutely nothing about. This may well be the lone exception to that rule. CNN, I guess, in hindsight, should certainly be able to tell us all about a lack of credibility. I mean, after all, you're CNN. You're the ones that have gone out of your way not to cover the Hunter Biden laptop story. You're the ones that have gone out of your way not to tell the American public about this huge myriad of irregularities in the recent presidential election. So, yeah, I guess in hindsight, since you can't teach what you don't know, if you're trying to teach us about credibility, that means you have no credibility. What is really scary here, though, is the number of my fellow Americans that still worship at the altar of CNN. It's truly frightening. Their numbers, speaking of credibility, are some of the lowest on the media totem pole. And yet, they will preach to Fox News, who beats the brakes off of them in every single time slot, about credibility. Of course, now that is just another page out of the Rules for Radicals playbook. You accuse the other side of doing exactly what you are doing. And if you do it loud enough, and if you do it long enough, sooner or later, folks will believe it. CNN lecturing about credibility. Now that's just stupid. And yes, we know the word is spelled S-T-U-P-I-D. But when CNN lectures about credibility, that's S-T-O-O-P-I-D. As a matter of fact, for CNN, we might have maybe could have stuck a couple more O's in there. That's just stupid. Got to get this bottom of the hour break out of the way. The entire music industry, and for that matter, America, and particularly the country music world, in mourning today. It is a bittersweet story, but a story that, if taken to heart, many of us would realize that it shows yet again just how great America is. Let me get this bottom of the hour break out of the way. We'll come back and bid a very fond farewell to a real American. That's next on the Clarence Bugg Show. Stay close.
Got termites? Get Premier Pest. PremierPestServices.com.
Hi, I am Dr. Farrell Frugier Jr., and I am a general dentist at Frugier Family Dentistry. I was born and raised in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. I went to Catholic High School, LSU, and LSU School of Dentistry in New Orleans, where I received my DDS degree in 1986. I always have and will continue to be committed to continuing my education, to invest in technology which makes the diagnosis and delivery of dentistry more thorough, more comfortable, and more aesthetically pleasing. In our practice, we are here to serve the patients. We want to improve their quality of life and to develop relationships with our patients. In dentistry, we have a chance to impact lives on a daily basis, not just by doing dentistry, but by getting to know them and being a part of their life. We also believe in giving back to our community. So every year, we give back to the Greater Baton Rouge Food Bank, Toys for Tots, and Mary Bird Perkins Cancer Center. Please stop by and visit our office. We would love to take care of you and your family.
Jaguar Nation, we need your help in masking up Louisiana.
Masks help us slow the spread of COVID-19.
During this time, we must continue to wear a mask, wash our hands, and practice social distancing.
It's important that we continue to abide by the CDC's guidelines to stop the spread.
Jaguar Nation, we challenge you to mask up. Go Jags!
Hello guys, it's Debbie. It's time. I've got a brand new location. 10510 Airline Highway, Baton Rouge, next to After 5 Tuxedos. We have the perfect spot to get all your wedding and formal wear needs. Come see our one-of-a-kind name brand and get great prices. With 30 years experience, the best customer service anywhere. It's Debbie's Bridal, Airline Highway, Baton Rouge. See you soon.
At Team Toyota, Toyotathon is underway. It's your chance to save during our biggest sale of the year. Get our lowest prices and our lowest payments on every new Toyota. Plus, get a complimentary lifetime powertrain warranty with every new Toyota. Right now at Team Toyota.
Caught spiders? Premier Pest Services.
Welcome back to today's edition of the Clarence Bugg Show. If you have been completely out of the loop news cycle recently, you may not be aware that the entire entertainment industry today, particularly the country music industry, is mourning the loss of a giant. Charley Pride dying at the age of 86. Even those of us that don't particularly like country music have heard of Charley Pride. Kiss an Angel, Good Morning, 1971, still played today. Is Anybody Going to San Antone? Burgers and Fries, Mountain of Love, Someone Loves You, Honey. Just an amazing career. Charley Pride had 3 Grammys, more than 30 #1 hits between 1969 and 1984, won the Country Music Association's Top Male Vocalist and Entertainer of the Year awards in 1972, and was inducted into the Country Music Hall of Fame in the year 2000. Until the early 1990s, when Cleve Francis came along, Charley Pride was the only African-American singer that had been signed to a major label. In 1993, he joined the Grand Ole Opry cast in Nashville. Charley Pride's story is such an American story. Born in Sledge, Mississippi, as the case was to a large family, I want to say 7 brothers and 2 sisters, if memory serves correct. Quote, "They used to ask me how it feels to be the first colored country singer. Then it was the first Negro country singer. Then the first black country singer. Now I'm the first African American country singer. That's about the only thing that's changed. This country is so race conscious, so ate up with colors and pigments. I call it skin hang-ups. It's a disease. My older sister one time said, 'Why are you singing their music?' But we all understand the y'all and us syndrome and what it's done to us. See, I never, as an individual, accepted that. And I truly believe that's why I am where I am today. A lesson all of us could learn as Americans. Something you may not know about Charley Pride: before launching his singing career, he was a pitcher and an outfielder in the Negro American League with the Memphis Red Sox and in the Pioneer League in Montana. After playing minor league baseball for a couple of years, he ended up in Montana. After a tryout with the New York Mets, he visited Nashville, and the head of RCA Records heard a couple of his demos and signed him. To show you where he came from and how he ended up, to ensure that Charley Pride was judged on his music and not his skin color, the first few singles that he cut and they sent to radio stations, they didn't send a publicity photo with it. They didn't want people to know he was black. They didn't want to give him any reason to judge him other than his music. And of course, once word got out, that was a different story. Quote, "Music is the greatest communicator on planet Earth. Once people heard the sincerity in my voice and heard me project and watched my delivery, it just dissipated any apprehension or bad feeling they might have had. Music is a beautiful way of expressing one's self, and I truly believe music should not be taken as protest. You can go too far in anything, singing, acting, whatever, and become politicized to the point you cease to be an entertainer." Charley Pride uttered those words in 1985. That's what, 35 years ago. Hollywood could learn a lesson from Charley Pride. Professional sports could learn a lesson from Charley Pride. America could learn a lesson from Charley Pride. Quote, "I'd like to be remembered as a good person who tried to be a good entertainer and made people happy, was a good American who paid his taxes and made a good living. I tried to do my best and contribute my part." By the way, Charley Pride is survived by his wife, Rosine, who he married in 1956, 3 children, Craig, Dion, and Angela, and several grandchildren as well. Gone, but he'll never be forgotten. at the age of 86, a real American, Charlie Pride. By the way, his death is attributed to complications from COVID-19. And I was trying to think, Alan, you might know right off the top of your head, is Charlie Pride the most famous American so far to die from COVID-19? Yeah, same here that I'm aware of as well. Of course, now dying from COVID-19 and dying with COVID-19, that's a whole different show for a whole different day.
Yeah, he wasn't 29.
Exactly. Speaking of COVID-19, in this age of political correctness, one thing I guess we can be grateful for out of COVID-19 is that there are still people out there that are willing to stand on principle. COVID-19 is just the latest in political correctness, the cancel culture, and all the other downright stupid ills plaguing America these days. But rest assured, y'all, there are still some Americans out there that stand on principle. I am so proud to say Tony Dungy is one of those. Did you see this article recently? Ralph Warnock, as you probably know by now, is the pastor, black pastor, of a megachurch in Georgia, Ebenezer Baptist Church. And this guy is as scary as the day is long. A pastor that is as socialist as you will encounter. A pastor, black pastor, who is so pro-abortion, even though the majority of his constituency is disproportionately affected by abortion. Well, Tony Dungy came out and questioned how this pastor can be pro-choice. Tony Dungy posted on social media that you may be a pastor, but my question is, are you a Christian? And of course, Tony points out scripturally, points out as an individual how hypocritical it is for you to be a pastor preaching about God's gift to man, our children, and to be as pro-abortion as you are. Now rest assured, y'all, Tony Dungy had to know when he took this guy to task that there was the distinct possibility that he's going to receive a whole lot of backlash. But I think we all know by now, Tony Dungy is a man of principle. Tony Dungy is a God-fearing American. Tony Dungy is one of those that believes if you don't stand for something, you will fall for anything. And Tony Dungy is like yours truly and a lot of other real Americans, and we mean it when we say it. We don't put anything in front of our country except the God that we love and the God we serve. Tony Dungy, you are the man, sir. And I know Tony didn't do it for accolades. He didn't do it for attaboys. And Tony Dungy certainly didn't do it for likes on social media. Tony Dungy did it because it's the right thing to do. If more of us as Americans would throw out this political correctness crap and simply do the right thing, if more of us as Americans would stop buying all the social media garbage and simply do the right thing, we would be so much better off as a nation. Thank God for you, Tony Dungy. Keep standing on principle. Final break of today's show. Let me get this done. When we come back, we're going to put a big old bow on this puppy and wrap up today's edition of the Clarence Buggs Show. Oh, and by the way, when we come back, white people, I need a big favor, but you got to stick around to find out what it is. That's next on the Clarence Buggs Show here on the Pelican. Stay close.
Hi, I'm Bobby Yarborough with Manda Fine Meats. Here at Manda, we know what the folks of South Louisiana love. They love great flavored smoked sausage, delicious deli meats, and specialty items like boudin and andouille sausage. Manda Fine Meats has been providing these products since 1947. We produce them right here in Baton Rouge, so you know you're always getting the freshest product at your local grocery store. Manda Fine Meats. Taste the fresh local flavor in everything we make. Make it Manda every time.
No one can stop me when I taste the feeling. Nothing could ever bring me down. Nothing could ever bring me down. Taste the feeling.
Surprise, something good has finally happened in 2020. Yours truly, the Clarence Buggs Show, gets to be with you every day of the week. That's right, 11 to 12 every weekday. And of course, the Exiles right in front of yours truly from 10 to 11, yours truly 11 to 12. So now it's appointment viewing. 5 days a week here on the Pelican. The Clarence Buggs Show. The only thing missing is you.
Sometimes life is wonderful, and sometimes it's not. Cherish the good, but always be prepared for life's challenges. At Private Healthcare, we provide the peace of mind you deserve. With private healthcare, you'll get the coverage you want and healthcare you need. If your employer doesn't supply healthcare coverage and you don't qualify for Medicare or Medicaid, you need to give us a call right now. Private healthcare is private health insurance for ages 65 and under with medical, dental, vision, and even prescription coverage. When life comes at you unexpectedly, you need to be ready, and health insurance is your financial safety net. Health insurance has never been so easy and affordable. If you're looking for health coverage at the best price and your annual household income is $35,000 or more, call the number on the screen now and speak with a live healthcare consultant. Don't wait. Get the coverage you need now.
Live and play on the fairway at Greystone Golf and Country Club, a serene, challenging golf destination located in Denham Springs. For tee times and membership opportunities, go to GreystoneCountryClub.com.
Welcome back with the final segment of today's edition of the Clarence Buggs Show. If you were with us as we headed into the last commercial break, right before that, I mentioned that I have a big favor that I would like to ask of white people. And if you're just tuning into the show, just discovered the show, understand something. We have that relationship. We talk. In the words of Bernie Mac, we family. We're all Americans, despite, you know, the wedge that the media tries to drive between us. We're all Americans. And at the end of the day, there are things that we have the relationship that we've built over the years that we can talk about. I need white folks to do me a huge favor. Will you please do black folks a favor and stop with the white guilt? Apparently, you think by embracing the white guilt, you're helping black people. You're not. You're not. please, white folks, stop with the white guilt. You're hurting us more than you're helping us. For example, let's take Michael Moore. Please, I wish somebody would take him, but that's a different story for a different day. On his recent podcast, Michael Moore, the whack job that he is, said, quote, "There is nonstop killing of our black and brown citizens in this country." Of course, alluding to police killings of people of color. In his latest podcast, he addressed the Black Lives Matter protests as he talked with CNN contributor Mark Lamont Hill, saying, quote, "We've had a year with the absolute worst president ever, and it happened this year with a once-in-a-century pandemic. It happened this year and with an uprising over the nonstop killing of our black and brown citizens in this country, and that people finally said, that's enough. It's been a powerful and a revolting year." Now, I guess Michael Moore thinks black folks are going to be so grateful that a white guy came to our defense, that police are engaged in nonstop killing of our black and brown citizens. Number one, Michael Moore, nothing could be further from the truth. But now, it's not the first time you've lied about something, and it probably won't be the last. But as a black man, here's the problem I have with it. Never once in his comments did Michael Moore or his black co-host, never once did they mention the ungodly number of black men that are being killed regularly by other black men. His effort to be endeared by black people is insulting. I watched this weekend the number of people trying to protest social injustice, protesting racial inequality, protesting whatever the latest Johnny-come-lately social justice cause happens to be. Not a one of them talked about the real issues facing Americans of color. Not a one of them. And all of the commercials that are out there, all of the PSAs that are being run, not a one of them addresses the 21 million black babies that have been aborted. Not a one of them addresses the disproportionate number of black babies being aborted. Not a one of them addresses the fact that for 15 to 39-year-olds in this country who are black, homicide at the hands of other black men is the leading cause of death. Not a one. And it's so ironic to show you how convoluted embracing white guilt is. Michael Moore would say, well, we just finished a year with the worst president in history. And the same time he's talking about the nonstop killing of our black and brown fellow Americans. But he very conveniently forgets that Joe Biden locked up more people that look like me than any other person since Jim Crow. And at the same time, Donald Trump let thousands of people that look like me out of prison. But he's the worst president ever. He very conveniently forgets that Donald Trump is the one that secured for the next decade funding for HBCUs. Not just secured the funding so that the presidents of Jackson State, Howard, Southern, Grambling, Alcorn, Florida A&M, Tennessee State, so they don't have to come back every year begging hat in hand for funding from Congress. He secured it for the next decade and increased it by 25%. Oh, but he's a racist. He's the worst thing that happened to black folk ever. He very conveniently forgets that Donald Trump built an economy that gave more black folks jobs than at any time in the history of this nation. Now, maybe, just maybe, Michael Moore figures if I say enough anti-Trump stuff, black folk will like me. If I say enough anti-racist stuff, black folks will like me. Well, Michael, if I could be so bold as to call you by your first name, we have a whole lot more respect for the truth than we do for patronage. We have a whole lot more respect for the truth than we do agenda. We have a whole lot more respect for the truth than we do this apparently alternate reality that you live in. At the end of the day, how many of you have parents that in an effort to make you a better person lied to you? Show of hands. Don't see any. And yeah, I can see you through the TV. How many of your parents lied to you to make you a better person? I didn't think so. White people, if you're truly concerned about the state of black America, I beg you, take your white guilt and flush it, because you're not helping black folk by lying. Marty said, time's up and I gotta go. But this day, just like any other, I give it to you. You're right. America, still not perfect, but doggone it, for this old boy's money, it's the best there is. And God knows there's no place else on his green earth that I'd rather be. You know he loves you, and you know I do too. Then again, there ain't a doggone thing you can do about either one. Take care of yourselves and each other. See you tomorrow. God bless.